For those of you who don't know, I do have a second channel to where I upload various gameplay videos. And yes, I started up again, just like I told you I would. Anyway, the reason why I bring that up is because I just uploaded the last video to a game called The Order 1886. And, I'm kind of sad that it ended. Hello, what's up, and welcome everyone. My name is Miss Quinn, and I'm genuinely so happy that I got the chance to play this game. You see, while going through my back catalog of games, because, like everyone says, I have nothing to play. No, yes, we do have stuff to play. We just don't know what to play. But I finally settled on finally downloading and playing this game like I have been meaning to do since the longest time. And I'm really glad I did that. This game takes place in London 1886, and even though they do talk about Jack the Ripper, here's the thing. One thing I will say is that I don't remember when Jack the Ripper was there, but they apparently happened between April 3rd of 1888 to February 13th of 1891. Don't worry though, this isn't a history channel, and even though history inconsistencies do stand out with me, they don't bother me that much to where it's an end all be all of my thoughts of this game. And I would say it's because this is hardly ever mentioned, possibly like 3 or 4 times, but this is a thing into this game. They have woven it into it to the point that this one dude is literally claiming to be Jack the Ripper. Not to mention that we have one scene where a woman gets how do I put this in a nice term so YouTube doesn't? Well, she just, yeah, she's not treated well by this one dude. That's how much I can talk about it. That's about as extent as the detail I am willing to go, you know? This game has 16 chapters and is something that you can easily get through is, fairly quickly. I myself spent over 9 hours on the game, and yes, that counts the amount of times I've had to bite the bullet. And yes, I'm talking about the red screen extravaganza that I went through multiple times. I should have waited until I was fully healed. They also brought. Okay, Nancy, focus. He's gonna go down there. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Oh my good dear God. I'm trying. I walked into that one. In the beginning, I thought this game had way too many cutscenes, and that is something that I will say. But I'm kind of biased because if a game is done well, I don't mind the amount of cutscenes that are put into it. I know some people have given it really bad reviews just because the game is too linear, but again, I don't see a problem with that. They also have given it really bad reviews because there's way too many cutscenes in it. Now, I do understand that like I said, there are way too many cutscenes, but this game is done pretty well to the point where it's, I don't know, it just doesn't bother me, and I think that's my problem. To give a really bad review as well on a game just because it's linear is mind-boggling to me. A lot of games are linear. We have fantastic games like What Remains of Edith Finch and Firewatch, and I always, mention them because they're really good and they're linear. They go in a straight line. But there are some of the games that are just really good, and this game is not exempt from that whatsoever. Even when you're not in a cutscene, the whole game basically looks so cinematic on its own that I think that's because of the widescreen, which in all honesty, I wish it was full screen, but I understand the choices that they had to make. I understand people wanting more action than what was actually given to us. But for me, it just makes it seem like they really wanted us to be invested in their world building. And since they had already planned out a trilogy for this game, it kind of makes sense to where we wouldn't get that much action within the first game. I think they planned for most of the action to be on the sequel or the last one. It makes more sense because this is more like of the introduction. And again, unfortunately, we never actually received the second or the third game. But when you have so many things in your world in order to show, it can get a bit overwhelming. You have vampires, the rebels, werewolves, the Order, and the United Indian Company. It makes sense as to why a lot of cutscenes needed to be shown in order for the player to actually say, okay, this good guys, bad guys, and this is the rundown of everything. And I don't know, it just makes sense. Many have also tackled the time to finish the game as bad, but here's the thing. When you come home from work and want to play through a good and very detailed game, yeah, it's a good pick. This game is packed full of so many intricate detail, from the people to their clothes and from the weapons to the environment. I do wish though that this game was longer, only because I wanted to stay in this world a little longer than what was actually given to me. I wanted to keep shooting, or I wanted to stay within a certain cutscene for another time. And here's the thing, people have given this game also a bad review for unskippable cutscenes. Here's the thing, I can see if you're playing it again, please, yes, please let me skip the cutscene. But if this is your first time playing a game, why do you want to skip the cutscene? The cutscenes are what makes you connect with a character, what makes you dislike a character, like a character. It that is what's important within a lot of games. If you don't want a lot of cutscenes, or if you don't want any at all, from what I've read on a lot of reviews, then just play Call of Duty. Just play a regular game that is literally just a shut off your brain and just play it, which there is nothing wrong. I myself like Call of Duty, but I really only go from Black Ops 3, and that is it. I am playing the rest of these games like because no, listen, I don't have that much money to be spending. Now, the age of the main character, Sir Galahad, I don't know his age. It is not mentioned. No one actually mentions their age. You only know that he's a bit older because Izzy actually says something in the very beginning about his age, because she teases him for it. And again, the teasing, the trying to make witty banter, even though, like, hey, like, now's not the time to be witty and it's not funny. She just like, oh, like, it's the age or something's happening, and he's just like, you do well to respect your elders or something. Listen, it's very nicely done. And then you have Lafayette, who is, so for me, he is a little bit of a relief from the tension that we have. And I'm not talking about comedic relief. He is not comedic whatsoever, but he's just a nice, just like a nice breather, a nice relief of all the tension that you're going through this game. Looking at it in hindsight and seeing that they weren't able to make a sequel or even the third game, obviously, that they were planning on making, maybe in hindsight they would have been like, oh, we should have put more action in it because people were complaining that there wasn't enough action. But in all honesty, I kind of honestly wish they would have done that as well, especially because you don't know if that's actually going to be possible. But again, they were noted that they were going to come out with a trilogy. Unfortunately, the first one wasn't received well, and well, the rest of them got canceled. Again, that is very unfortunate because now I played it and I'm like, damn, I really do like the world that they were building. And I don't know, I just like it. The weaponry as well is very cool, even though I kind of stuck with the same weapons because, listen, I'm not that much of a Dora the Explorer. Although every minute in this game was totally worth it to me. I 100% recommend this game, and I'm still so upset that the other two games following this were canceled. I honestly, it would have been great to see where they would have gone with the story, and obviously, I'm going into major spoiler territories because, well, just from right here, and I'll put a timestamp to where you can skip to where you can get the non-spoiler things. Okay, so one, two. All right. So honestly, in the sequel, I really truly believe that Sir Galahad would have gone after Lord Chancellor, especially after having to end the life, how you say it, of Alistair. Because, Alistair turned out to be a half breed. And unfortunately, Sir Galahad was Sir Galahad no more because of the fact that he was stripped away from his title after being labeled a traitor when he really wasn't a traitor. So I think that's what the second game would have mostly been about. The third one, I'm not sure. But obviously, this is just speculation. This isn't anything, concrete. Now, back. If there was a sequel to this game being announced out of the blue, I would totally be excited. I would honestly pre order it even. And I haven't pre ordered anything since The Last of Us Part 2. That was the last time I pre ordered any video game whatsoever. Now, do I think this game is 100% perfect? No, I don't think it is. Sometimes you do have way too much cutscenes and you don't want them. You just want to get back into the action and you want to keep exploring the world that the developers have given you. But again, I don't know. I see both sides of the coin because even though you want to stay in that world, without the cutscenes and you want to stay within the action that it's given you, you want to know why you have that drive because the game was that good. Because you're like, damn, this game is so awesome. I want to keep spending time in it. At least that's what happened with me when I finished it. Honestly, I don't see a point of going back into it and playing it over once again because I have already played it once. And as for replayability, it doesn't seem to have any of that. And that's one thing that nowadays with the current games that we do get, there is a lot of replayability. And that is a good thing because they'll possibly give us all the weapons right away or like we'll max out our stats or something. But in this game, there is no maxing out your stats. There is none of that. You have your weapons, you're given to them, and you get to go on this wonderful story about being in the Order and horrifically losing people along the way. But hey, that's just me. For all its faults, it is a really good game. And for everything that it does right, it does have a few things that are not so right. Like the fact that, again, it takes place in 1886, but yet you're clearly talking about the Ripper murders and you're claiming, and I mean, somebody is claiming to be Jack the Ripper when that didn't happen until 1888. For me, a lot of people wouldn't care about the dates. For me, I do care and I don't. I do care in the fact that it's like, okay, it's like this part really should have been taken care of. Someone should have pointed out like, hey, maybe just bump it up 2 more years. I don't think much would have changed, like depending, like environmental wise. I don't think it would have. Just the year that for me is what bugs me. But I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. If you're interested in seeing my gameplay of The Order 1886, then you can check it out on my second channel. I have already uploaded the last video of this game, and I do have a playlist for it as well. Thank you all, regardless of whether you check it out or not, because you all are so amazing, and you guys support me by just watching my videos, and that is it. And I do cherish that so much. Have you guys played this game before? Are you looking to play this game? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be awesome, be kind, and stay you. Bye-bye.